Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks for having me. Tired. Excuse the sound kind of driving shit. I moved at like a bit towards the beginning of last month.
Yeah.
When I tell you like sleep deprived is an understatement, I'm talking about nothing. And I can't
What?
fucking stand it. Yeah, man, because it's like between work, I work like 67 hours a week. And
Oh
then
shit.
kids run track. I coach when I do have the time because I used to run track as well.
Oh yeah.
And then try to do the airsoft stuff. And then it's like moving, buying new furniture. Like I just came from home. I was at Home Depot looking at kitchen designs because
Mm.
just yesterday gutted the whole kitchen. Just like nothing in the kitchen. Absolutely nothing.
Oh my God. You do all that yourself too?
Me and my pops and then my brother was supposed to be here to help, but me and my pops at the house and my brother gonna kick my ass, but it is what it is. So it's like, man, I'm probably running off like about I've been averaging like 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours of sleep
Oh
or
dude.
whatever else. So it's like I'm like on fumes is an understatement.
Well, you know what's funny is I messaged you about being on here a while ago
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I actually tagged you incorrectly. Like I because I did a podcast with another Reaper.
yeah.
And when I went to do the post or the Instagram post about that podcast coming out, I put your tag on there, mentions or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like
I
because I
remember.
started
I
typing
remember.
it because I followed you, and we'd already talked or whatever, chatted. It came up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. And then you
Yeah.
messaged me, was like, no, that's not me.
Nah, it's wrong one. But I get it's like shit, it's probably about like 1,000
I'm
reapers
sure.
on social media. It's so many, man. But it's all
Well,
good.
yours is different. Yours is a R1 Reaper, which I
Yeah,
think I'm going to
yeah.
guess here. I think it's has to do with your motorcycle, right?
That's correct. That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah,
That is correct. So yeah, yep, yep. So that's where that came from. So
nice.
yeah, so that's it. That's
Well,
it.
you got some
Yes, sir.
fucking awesome pictures on your Instagram, man, of your bike and of yourself,
Uh
like in your gear. With
yeah.
it's like I don't know what kind of art style it is, but it's like
Mhm.
a cartoon or draw, like a
Yeah,
drawing kind of
so
thing.
believe it or not, man, it's just apps. Like literally, it's just these different apps for just editing. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing special, nothing crazy. I'm not sitting here like, going with the whole digital aspect of coloring that, I just, sometimes what I do is I use like two or three different apps and then do like a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer. And sometimes that gives a whole different effect.
Oh, okay.
Or whatnot. And then now recently this whole
What is it? That
artificial.
yeah, the AI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that one I just hopped on board. I guess it's been around for a minute.
Mm.
So I just kind of hopped on board with that one and just kind of ran with it because I think it's a Lenza. And it's like you pay for it's like 10 bucks, no big deal. And so you get to choose it's like 50 or like 60 pictures or whatever. So they do all these different renders and you just pick one and just let it fly. And then that's about it. So I've been kind
That's
of using
wild.
that one lately because it's just like, all right, cool. I don't have to waste time putting together this or putting
Yeah,
together putting
I
together
tried
that.
it out. I tried it out, and I was like, I was at work, and I didn't have really
Yeah, yeah.
good. I don't know what it was, but it took a while, and it just didn't turn out like everyone that's posting these.
Hmm.
Uh, it didn't turn out the way that
Okay.
those came out. I don't. I picked the wrong thing. I'm like, man, I don't have time to fuck with this shit. I'm like in between, like messaging people for to be on the podcast and stuff.
Right,
So
right.
I was like, fuck it. I don't know what I'm doing here. So whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
won't have
yeah.
that.
I just hopped on that train. I was like, hey, F it, why not? And so
Yeah.
I just let it fly after that. I'm like, heck, I'm gonna start using this. It just saves me so much time having to go. It's like two or three other apps that I use. Like I said, I just layer on top of each other. Then I just take one still picture from the camera, how I had the camera mounted on the gun, and anytime I can kind of catch a pretty cool, a cool angle for the most part that I feel will work, I would use that one, then go back to those apps, and
Yeah.
then just try to add this, try to add that, and then like go from there. But this whole AI prep, I'm like, oh yeah, we gonna let this work for a while. It's only me about 30, 40 minutes of messing around.
Right. I
So
hear you, man.
yeah,
Oh, well, listen,
yeah,
man, I appreciate you being on because, all the things you're talking about. When I messaged you the first time, you were like, hey,
yeah,
give me some time because I'm in the middle of all this stuff going on, whatever. I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
understand that. And now, yeah, when you're, these things are like when you're ripping parts of your house apart.
Yeah.
It is there's a lot involved.
Man,
Especially
tell me
you
about
have
it.
kids too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep. I got kids, so I got three. Oldest, he's in North Carolina with his grandmother. So my and then my two youngest, that's their older brother. So he's not my DNA, but it's still my kid.
Yeah.
So between him and then my two youngest that are here with me, I'm pretty busy. Then he's talking about getting the airsoft now. So he was like, damn, like, all right, just let me know what you want your loadout to be. So we've been kind of talking about that a little bit with his loadout scenario, the type of guns he like to use. So he got a birthday coming up next month. So I'm most definitely hooking up with some stuff to kind of get him going down there.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't have one of my kids out here half stepping. I got a whole arsenal
Oh,
full.
hell no. Right. Well, you're the experienced one, man. You've got to kind of
Yeah.
help them get into it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So
Yeah, that's cool,
yeah,
dude.
it's a process. More money to spend, but hey, I can't take with me once I keep the bucket, so why not? So
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the
yeah,
thing too.
man.
Most people I'm talking with are they're so into the airsoft thing. It's
Yeah,
whatever type of whatever kind of game type they like to play. They're
yeah,
all into they're so much into it that it gives them purpose. Like it's
sure.
always evolving and changing. Like it's either you want to upgrade your gun or your gear. You want to
Yeah,
do a new build or something like that. And then there's the whole like fashion part of it. Where you can make your guns
yeah.
look cool. Like they're run great, but now you want to put some kind of cool grips or stickers or
Exactly.
whatever. Kind of 3D printed stuff, and it's like never
Yep.
ending, never ending.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. So that's kind of that's I think that's the cool part about it is I heard one person say it best. It's like a fashion show, which is true.
yeah,
To as far as I'm concerned, to the fullest extent, it's most definitely a fashion show. It's like have fun, go with your best imagination possible. I tell people just it's like you're pretty much playing real life Call of Duty at the end of the day. So
right,
why not? And so just run with it from there. Run a country mile or a country 10 miles. Just make the best of it, have the most fun all the
right.
time. All the time.
That's cool, man.
So
So how did you get into, or when did you get into riding bikes? Your
oh
motorcycle.
man. So I officially started riding when I was 18 when went away to college. Some
Okay.
random kids is, kind of I'm a loner, so like I typically kind of find just random groups of people to kick it with.
Yeah.
So got this one group date because I seen the bikes down there because my first year of college was at Kent State University and
Wait, what?
I seen Kent State University in Ohio.
No shit. That's where my wife
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, where? Yeah. So
My
that was my first
brother-in-law went
year.
there. My wife. We're from Cuyahoga Falls, Akron,
Yeah,
Ohio.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've heard on your interviews you mentioned you were from there. So yeah, so that was my
Yeah.
first year of college. I was there to I majored in architecture, interior design and architecture for like almost 7 years, and eventually dropped out of the program. Like literally just went cold turkey on it, and then so I was supposed to be running track down there. I had a hip injury, ended my whole entire
Oh,
track career. So went to a little depression
sure.
stage. That was rough. I never had like a major injury that made me sit down.
Mm,
So that kind of sucked.
yeah.
But yeah, so with the whole bike thing, so I kind of found out who was riding. Like they literally just taught me, and then ever since then, I just started riding. A lot of back road stuff, and then I want to say 2008, 2007, 2008, right around time frame is when I kind of came into the street scene. Nobody really know who I was. Just this slim kid coming here running his mouth and
Yeah.
riding nothing but R1s and shit is going on. What since I was 18? Yeah, about 20 years. 20 years from October. I was long as been riding. So I wish it was longer. That was the one thing I wanted to do. I didn't even my first vehicle. I didn't want a car. I wanted a bike, but my mom shut that down. We all know how that goes. So I
Look,
did not.
moms
Nobody want a
moms don't
car.
want their boys going into the military, and they don't want their
Nope.
boys getting a motorcycle. Okay, that
Nope.
shit's too
Nope.
dangerous. Just don't do
Nope.
that. Okay.
Yeah, because me and our pops, we had this whole. I don't think I found a bike. I found where to get it from. I looked at the insurance information.
Mm,
Even see here in Michigan, we can do. I think it's 16. Unless it's changed, you can actually get your get a permit to ride, or like
Yep.
your cycle endorsement to where you can ride literally solo, but it does have its restrictions because of the age. Literally, you have more riding availability per se versus in a car. So
Oh
I'm
wow.
going out on the line, I had like a whole presentation. I'm like, okay, this is not gonna fail. Shit, I didn't even get past the first fucking sentence. It was instant. No, when the cycle was over with, man, I was pissed off. So
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
man, listen, it's that's therapy. I tell people, it's like how do you ride it dangerous? I'm like, they're not. It's just you got to experience it. That's like the only bit of freedom
Yeah.
uh that I can really get at any time, to be perfectly by myself. Like I said, I'm a huge loner, so that's a balance in life. But so it's like that feeling, just being solo, just me.
Yeah.
Whether I got music going, I'm just listening to the wind. Is you can't explain it, so it's hard to explain it when I say that.
Yeah.
And so yes,
I'm
I will
sure.
always forever try to have a bike in the garage 24/7. There's nothing like it.
So I did a podcast with this guy in Texas.
Okay,
I think his call sign is Catalyst. That's what it is. But he runs
okay,
another Instagram for their team, Six
okay,
Millimeter Maniacs. Okay, if you look
okay,
them up,
okay,
Matt is his name. He rides. He loves to
okay,
ride, or he used to. He had an accident not too long ago.
okay.
Had an
That sucks.
injury, but yeah, he did the sport bike. Like
Yeah, yeah,
and we talked about that on the podcast where he said, "Man, when I see that, the whatever the curvy sign is on the
yeah,
road,
yeah.
he's like,
Get
that's
excited.
when I drop it down and
Yeah,
I'm, he if you're dragging your knee, he said something like, if you're dragging your knee, that's when I love,
yeah,
that's when I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
that's that's most definitely the excitement behind it. I tell a lot of people it's like an art form, because
mm,
you got this machine, depending on regardless of what CC size it is or motor size rather. Um, you have complete control of this machine. Everything it responds to everything you do, bar position, that throttle hand, clutch brake. It's so many different factors that go into it. So once you have it all in sync, you get it right, just how it flows. It's just
mm,
how it flows, and it's just once you got it, man, it's like I said, I call it art form. You watch it, even down to even racing, car racing. The one I join most is Formula One because it is an art form. I
oh,
miss the old days. I miss the old days where it was a good old fashioned stick shift versus now the paddle shifting, because there was an art behind downshifting, upshifting, rev matching,
right.
all of that. You could watch them drive the car and slingshot around. So even though it's still there in a way, but it's just still watching that. Like I can't do NASCAR. I can't sit there and watch just one circle. I understand there's certain aspects going
Uh,
on that's happening, but it's not the same as if somebody had to under hard braking and then able to overtake,
yeah.
and then the person just overtook takes them right back. It's like a dance. So it's like I can watch that all day long, just be stuck.
Yeah, well,
So
the
yeah,
F1 or those formulas, those races are way more exciting to watch. I feel like because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
there's such tight turns,
yep,
and those things are it's such a short jump between or distance between turns that
yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah,
always something going on. Where
yep, it
whereas
is.
NASCAR is, I could never get into it. I live in
Yeah,
South
yeah,
Carolina now, and
yeah.
I still I can't. I'm like, bro, I need some action. Okay, there's got to be
Yeah, I know I
action.
get it, and not being out in South Carolina, you most definitely part of NASCAR country. That side of the
That's what I'm
country takes
saying.
it serious,
Oh,
bro.
they do, bro. I mean, most of the factories I worked in, these guys come in, with Earnhardt hats or the,
Yep.
whoever they, whatever driver they like, and they're wearing the jacket, the official jackets, and all that kind of shit. And I'm like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they go to
yeah,
races. But you know what I
yeah,
found out? And there's a couple things here. One is the NASCAR thing, since we're talking about it. When I would talk to these guys and they would go, like, they'll go to races. So they'll go
yeah,
to the track, they'll go to the big race, Daytona 500, whatever. It is something they plan for all year.
yeah,
And the way they're describing it to me, it's really similar to airsoft players going to like a mil sim, okay, or a
yeah.
big event, okay, whatever it is,
It's a
because they're
whole
excited.
event for them to
Oh,
go.
it's they're planning. It's
Yeah,
expensive. They got to
yeah,
travel. They got to take time off
yep,
work. They got to, they're renting an RV if they don't have one
yeah,
or
yep,
a camper,
yep,
and they're camping outside, right outside on the property, like at these NASCAR races, they'll have property where you can camp right on the,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
outside
Right in
gate.
center. Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. So,
Yep.
yeah, and in the middle too. So they're doing all these kind of things where they're really not there just for the race. They're there for that
Well,
whole experience, the community.
yeah.
They're bringing their
Right.
grill, bro. They're like, man, I make the best whatever kind of dry
Yeah.
rub,
Yeah. Yeah.
pork rib thing or whatever. So they're doing that whole thing. And then the other thing too is these with motorcycles,
Hmm.
the sport bike stuff is a lot like airsoft as far as, and I'm not trying to tie it into airsoft, but
No,
it
I
just
understand what you're
reminds
doing.
me. It reminds me of, uh, you know, when I look at like guys that are riding sport bikes,
Yeah.
they gear up, right? So
Yep.
they have this, most of the time, if they're going, especially if they're going fast, they got the leather stuff. I mean, they got
Yep.
armor on that
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
badass. They got a
Yeah. They
badass
do.
helmet, right, that covers their
Yep.
face. They've
Yep.
got, and their visor might be tinted or whatever.
Yep.
Their
Yep.
bike, they put a lot of time in, cleaning it, making it look good. It's all this,
Yep.
it's a lot of show
Yep.
and power, like, hey,
Yeah.
I can ride too. But it just reminds me of how people get into airsoft where they do this, they gear up, they get all
Yep.
this cool stuff on, they want to look better on the field, and they want to improve their skills.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Like I said, the bike community, uh, it has its moment. Especially depending on which part. If you get to the racing part, any form of racing, whether it's drag racing, road racing, whatever,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some interesting encounters. I'll just say that. And even if you get to the club life, whole different aspect. But typically, the foundation rule of thumb is it's the biker brotherhood, and it is pretty cool. You get your circle, you rock with your circle, and you might associate with other people, and typically that's some of the best people you might come across just because they're whether they can see you broke down. I can't tell you, it's been a few times just because I rode, I see somebody on the side of the road, I'll stop, like, you good, you need somebody to wait with you, or might be able to lend a hand just to say, hey, oh
Right.
shit, you listen, just adjust this and you'll be able to make it home, or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be, in which you can relate that to airsoft in particular ways. It's a very, I don't want to call it a unique hobby, but it in its own world, it stands out. And then it's starting to catch, from when I started, it's starting to catch a lot of a lot of attraction and traction as well. Just getting through and getting around. Especially social media, as we know, the engine of social media is what it is. So,
For
people
sure.
ask more, people ask more and more, like, what is this? And, I got a couple people, on my Facebook page or my old Instagram, like, is this you? Because I recognize the voice, and it's like, yeah, that's me. And then it just, it goes from there. But yeah, there are some
Well,
similarities for sure between the background and there are some for sure.
I didn't
That is
know
definitely.
if you were going to be wearing a mask. Like your
No,
gear
no,
for
no.
because on your Instagram I didn't see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
expect. Because I don't see your face on there. And a lot of people, I
Listen,
have a lot of people on here that they'll wear like all their stuff
oh, yeah,
when
yeah,
they're
yeah.
but
No, listen, man. I don't mind showing off just attractive face. Somebody got to see it out here in the
you're good
world.
looking. You are good looking.
Yeah.
And by the way, you have a twin up in Ohio. My brother-in-law, my younger sister's
Uh-huh.
husband, you
Okay.
are a definite twin. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
word.
Oh my gosh,
That's what's up.
when it first came up, I was like, "What? Who am
Right.
I talking? I'm talking to Michael over here. What the hell?" Yeah,
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
been married
man.
like 20
Yeah.
years.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Him and I are really close, but yeah, you look a lot like him.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, man. No,
Yeah,
I was like, man, I'm not gonna wear all my gear and all that shit. When it comes to part of the reason, might be a little contradicting a little bit, I don't really put my face out there just because of the bike stuff.
yeah.
Or whatever. So, just in case I put a video of I was doing the speed limit. Um,
Right?
just in case, yeah, so, yeah, yeah.
Don't show
So,
the speedometer, man. Just blur it out. Just blur it out. It's okay.
here's the thing. I had to take a couple down for some other
Oh shit!
reasons. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, 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 yeah. I had a couple, up there that I'm not blurring shit out. Because it's gonna be up there regardless. I don't. because that's the
Okay.
one reason I'm gonna use YouTube. YouTube is too restricted. Even because I get a lot of people ask, if you have YouTube, you start YouTube. Like, I don't, because too many restrictions with,
Mm-hmm.
with the copyright, which I understand the copyright aspect with the music, because I prefer to use the music that I want to use. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, I can't do this here, but I can do this. Like, it's not worth it. And I don't feel editing on YouTube is as free and simple as like Instagram and even TikTok,
Right.
or whatever. And I really don't use TikTok anymore because Instagram bumped up their video, their time for their reels up to 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
At first, it was just 60 seconds.
Right.
So anything that went over, I would just go put it on TikTok and leave the longer videos there. And then, like, about a month later, after I started really using TikTok, they bumped up to 1 minute 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, I ain't got to really go back and forth. Perfect. And then, but I
Right.
still throw stuff on TikTok every once in a while just because. I mean, yeah, that's about it, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't
That's
mind showing
funny.
my face. It's no big deal. But people always like, oh, that's you. And it's been like a few. When I mean a few times, people thought I was like, I thought you were white. Like, no.
Oh, and you're
I was
for the
like,
airsoft thing?
yeah, I kid you not. I was,
What?
I kid you the fuck not. It was like, no,
Oh shit.
what? Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
kid you not. It's been a
Oh, I
few.
mean,
When I
you're
mean
not
a
fully
few,
covered. Your face isn't fully covered. Like
listen, man.
there's a little, like this part, in
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
your
yeah.
pictures or whatever of you.
Yep,
So
yep.
like you could tell, like what are they?
Yeah, hey, listen, I don't listen. They kid you the fuck not.
Oh shit, that's funny,
And
dude.
then you can see the look. And actually happened. Was it? Oh man, it was when we came back from the last trip from Atlanta. I was up there at the airsoft shop. I had to drop off on the gun because I thought something was wrong with it. Come to find out, just the motor wasn't aligned up right, and I was just like
Mm.
quick, like, all right, cool, no big deal. And one of the kids like, oh, you're such and such from TikTok. Like, yeah, it's me. And he was one of his little homies. He was looking at me like, is that? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and I knew exactly what it was. You couldn't, because it happens more and more. People, they do not think that I'm black, so it's like, it's all good. So
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay.
yeah, it's
Well,
all good. It's all
hey.
good.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So
there's a handful of people that when I first started doing these, as I started looking through, when I found a lot of different Instagram channels, airsoft, I saw tons and tons of channels of
yeah.
airsofters that were, like especially milsim guys that were,
Hmm.
just military geared up all the way, and then blacking out like part
Yep.
of their face or blurring out their face. And so I mean, if you only had that to go by, like their Instagram, like you have no clue what they look like,
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's potential.
they're
Yeah, for sure.
fully
It's potential.
covered.
You never know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh
It's
huh.
it's it's potential. You never know. But I just find it funny. I just laugh. It was just like, like, damn, what the? I was like, hey, it's all good. Because I'm
Oh,
putting to
that's
the
funny.
side, Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So me and him finally linked up, and we just talk crap all day long, ever
Oh,
since
I'm
then.
sure.
And oh man, it's fucking hilarious. And I hopped on his live. Was it last week? And he
Oh,
was
okay.
like, "Oh shit, you black?" I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker." I'm
No,
like,
he
"Yeah." He
did.
was like,
He was
"Yeah." I'm
fucking
like,
around. He had to be
"Yeah."
fucking around.
No, it was in his facial expression. He was stuck like, "Oh,
What?
what the fuck?"
Holy shit! I didn't. From your Instagram, I didn't have any doubt. Like I knew. Like as soon as I was scrolling through, I saw. It's like I
Hey,
didn't. That never
listen.
even thought. That thought never entered my mind. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it's all
Ruby,
good.
what the fuck, bro? I'm calling you out. Okay.
Yeah, like I should have recorded that shit because his face was just like, what the fuck? He was like, he's like, yes. I'm like, hey, it's all good.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah, man. So were you riding bikes before you got into airsoft?
most definitely, most definitely,
Okay.
most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're airsoft. I've been doing shit. Was it 2.5 years now?
Hmm.
I've been
Okay.
playing,
Yeah.
and the only reason I got into it at first it's gonna be paintball. Because what it kind of came down to is that I was looking for a wintertime hobby. I don't know how to sit my ass down. Like.
I
You
hear
know, like
you.
I said, because from running track and like you understand, I was on the track team
Yeah.
along with
What did you
school.
do in track?
So I did the 800, 4x8, 4x4, the mile, and
Okay.
the 2 mile.
So you're doing
So
long distance. Yeah.
mid distance sprints and long distance, and
Mm-hmm.
then my junior year of high school was when I started venturing into the 400 realm
Oh, okay.
of life, and that began to be my kind of my sweet spot a little bit because so much of the distance background, and
Mm,
then developing strength and actually getting some speed later on. The
mm-hmm.
400 was extremely easy. Was becoming more and more easier.
I'm
So more
sure.
and more easy. So then like I said,
Yeah,
hip memory,
you're
whatever.
going like you're just getting warmed up, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
oh shit, it's almost done. I'm gonna win this bitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
It was
done.
literally like it was like it was somewhere in the race, not race, but I forgot what school we were going against. I was like, I'm gonna put you on the 4x4. I'm like, the fuck for what? I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I think I were like second or third leg. And I did good. This is just against another team, but I ran a decent time, so I wasn't tripping. Then it's like, boom, kicked off, didn't look back, and then after that, I was just like heading to the 400. Even though like on my
Okay.
AAU team, I was already running the 4x4 relay,
Mm,
but it wasn't necessarily my strong suit because it was learning how to run that race, and I
mm,
was still heavy into the distance part of it and everything else. So, but yeah, so just not I don't know how to sit down. So I needed as I got older, it's like fuck. Like I got my summer hobby, spring, summer, early fall, but in the winter time I would be sitting there bored as shit. Sure, I'm a gamer. I mean, come on, I was born in '84, so you know how that goes. It's, we were already there, but it's like I need something
right.
to physically do. I was like, all right, man, I'm getting paid. And it was like I started looking, and this is what happened. Fucking around YouTube. Don't know how it popped up on my fucking feed. Couldn't tell you, didn't purposely search it, none of that
It's
shit.
listening, bro.
Hey,
Okay, it heard you say so.
listen, I couldn't tell you. I'm just sitting there bored as shit. I remember they like, man, I need something to do this. Scrolling through. And then I came across, what's the one cat's name? The Demon, his page. Came
Demo?
across his page. Yeah, yeah. And,
Oh yeah, yeah. I follow him. He's
yep,
cool as fuck. Yeah.
yep. Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is dope. And then I got the name, and then what made me backtrack a little bit, I'm like, why does this look so familiar? Come to find out, I was already following the Kicking Mustangs page for a minute
Yeah.
or whatever, because we all know how legendary he is with with his sniper skills.
Yeah.
So I started putting two together, like, all right. So I started doing a little bit more research, this, and then found a couple. It's like we in Michigan we have 3 or 4 outdoor fields that are close to the Metro Detroit area. Then there's like there's one main indoor field, which is where I go, which is Motor City Airsoft. And then there was this other smaller field that kept popping up, but it didn't seem like much of anything, so I didn't whatever. So again kept doing this research, excuse me, and found some local shops about this stuff. And then it's like me, once I look on something, oh, it's full thing. I'm about to look up everything, find necessary gear, do's and don'ts, and then ever since then. Didn't look back, and it's like, and I realized, oh, this is affordable because you gotta understand it's like I hear people say, "Oh, airsoft is expensive." Shit, I can take $500 and put that towards a bike, and the bike still won't be running.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you,
five
it's
hundred dollars,
way. Yeah.
yeah, $500 gets you a gun, some upgrades, some more gear, and you good to go. So so yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. Just I needed that.
What is one tire cost for the for your sport bike?
Um, Okay, I just go for the tires that I prefer to use. So I prefer to go with a thicker tire, which is a lower compound. So my last rear tire that I purchased is about 350, 400 for just a tire by
Woo!
itself.
Damn, bro.
That's just the rear tire. That's not including the front tire.
Right.
So
Bro.
usually yeah. So usually the front tires are around like 150 to 180 for the front
Okay.
tires. But again,
Okay.
you going off a compound, so you want a harder tire for more tire life, or you want a softer compound. That softer
Right.
compound is a stickier tire, but
Right.
that motherfucker it wears out
Wears the
fast.
fuck
It,
out.
it it wears out, and it's like you back on another tire real quick. So that's the difference.
I hear you. Well, one of my buddies he was a sports car driver, and
Okay.
this is when I was in California, right after I got out of the military. He was a friend of mine. I met, actually, my wife and I met their family through our church or whatever. And he was a
Okay.
young guy. He was a couple years younger than me. I think he was like 19, 20 years old, whatever. And he had been working with his dad for a long time, construction and stuff, saved up all his money. He buys a sports car. I can't remember which one it was. Um, it was a Toyota. It might have been a
Okay.
no, it wasn't a Supra, but anyway, something along those lines. So he
Right.
goes. Now we're in Fallbrook by Temecula and all this in California, windy roads everywhere. This
Okay.
motherfucker is. He went through brand new what are the Toyo tires?
Yeah.
No,
Yep. Yep. Toyota. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. You got it right.
okay. It goes through these tires in like 2 months. Brand new tires. He burned
Pushing.
them the fuck up, bro. He did that
Push.
for a whole year. He didn't care. He bought extra tire. He didn't give a shit. He's just like, he went down these, windy roads, whatever,
Okay.
just burn their
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
up. But anyway, he had fun doing it. And then after that, he was like, okay, I need to slow down now because he spent so much on
Yeah,
tires.
man. It's tires is what gets you. Like luckily now, um, I don't ride, because I don't have the time to ride as much as I used to when I was younger.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, I couldn't imagine, riding 4 or 5 days out of the week on a soft compound tire.
Hmm.
I'm broke. I'll be rude because it'll be fitting so I can afford another tire because listen, you go that center wears out so damn fast, and it's not like hearing you go out to you got Tennessee with the Tailor Dragon, and then you got the West Coast with all the mountains and stuff like that. So you have those areas where you can utilize all sides of the tire. But here in Michigan, we have our
Hmm.
select areas, back roads, where you can get some good riding in for sure.
Okay.
But it's like that center, more highway right that center wears down quick. And you out here at that point, it's like being, on ice with some ice skates. Like, yeah, just sit down and call it a day. So, like, it's not
I
worth it
hear
at
you.
all.
Yeah.
Yep,
Now,
yep.
have you ever driven to an airsoft event on your bike with
No,
all your leather shit on?
no. I'm gonna tell
Oh,
you right
okay.
now, hell, I wouldn't do it. Hell no, no, not happening. Fuck that.
Why,
No,
bro?
listen, first of all, my knees are trash. Let's just start there. I wouldn't make an hour just off of that alone. So we just gonna start there. Second, I'm not packing all that shit up on my damn bike. No, it's not happening. Oh no, oh
Throw
no.
your backpack on, put all your
Mm-mm.
cram all your shit in there, all right, and then
No,
speed over there. I want to see you get. I want to you have your helmet, you got your fucking leather, okay, you're geared up. You
no.
walk in with your
Mm-mm.
helmet on into the airsoft arena, and everyone looks at you like, "Holy shit!" It's like fucking
No,
RoboCop, you
no,
know?
no, because in the event I need to earn 3 or 4 stars from GTA. I don't have that time for that shit to be on my damn back. So no, I'm sorry.
No
No,
shit,
I'm
right?
good.
Hell
No,
yeah.
I'm good.
That's funny. Okay.
No, I'm good. Yeah, yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
but bike life, that's like I said, that's a whole different thing. And then
Yeah.
airsoft kind of adds a balance for sure. It has to
Sure, man.
balance for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, they're both kind of like you said earlier. The riding thing is therapeutic. Um,
Yep.
when you get out there, I I've never done long distance riding on a sport bike. I rode. I never had a sport bike. Actually, I never had a motorcycle to me. My
Okay.
buddies always had them. I rode those, but I rode most of my time on a bike was a dirt bike. So out in the deserts in Cali, right outside
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Palm
yeah.
Springs, but all in the sand and shit like that. But
Yeah.
my neighbor had a CBR 600. I rode
Okay.
that around town. I don't know, a couple times a month,
Yeah, yeah.
So when my kids were little, but at the time I was doing skydiving. So I was out of the military. I was doing skydiving. We had 2 kids. We were about to have a third, and I'm riding this bike more and more. So I wanted one, of course. And my
Yeah,
wife's
yeah.
like, "Dude, do you want to leave us? Do you want to leave me a widow? What the fuck are you doing? You're skydiving. You're fucking
Oh
paint. I was playing paintball too,
man.
and I'm working 70 hours a week. Okay, And
Yeah.
and then I'm riding my buddy's bike. She's like, "Can you slow down, please?" I'm like, I mean, do I have to? Like, come on now.
Man, listen, I'll probably be on the aspect of writing, unless it's costing the house money.
Mm,
I'm in out of the hospital or something dramatic. No, if I ever were to get back in a relationship and it came to it's either me or the bike, have a good one. No,
well, that's what they make
no.
memes on, right?
Man, listen, because it's peaceful as hell. Like it's therapy. And like if you're not helping me maintain the peace, you gotta go. You
Mm, I mean, for
you
real, bro.
you got I give up. I think we all because we're not too far off in age, so I think we have we'll give up a lot for the family life, which is okay. That's what we
For
sign up
sure.
for. That's kind of
Yeah.
part of what we look forward to. But if we can't just have that one little speck,
Oh, you
that
gotta
one
have
little
something,
speck
bro.
of happiness, and you mean to tell me that I
Uh-huh.
got to give that up because of you're of an assumption because of stereotypes or oh
Uh-huh.
no no you can go to hell, you can kick rocks, I'm straight.
Bye.
Good. You can't buy it. We can't go to the airsoft store and buy some peace. No, it's
No, dude.
no, hell no.
No.
So oh no.
Well, most peace comes from action. It really, you can meditate. Meditation's good.
Sure.
Reading, shit like that. Some quiet time
Yeah.
stuff is can be peaceful, but we have this thing in us, man, especially certain personality types that
Yeah.
we've got to take action. There's got to be some
Yeah.
kind of physical,
Hmm.
we've got to do something physical to
Yep.
get to this feeling of where I'm like this, where
Yeah.
I am even,
It's
and I'm
balance.
not. Yeah, it's a balance, right?
It's a
And
balance.
it does go hand in hand for sure. I mean, there's,
Yeah.
speaking of limits with, when we're in a relationship, my wife and I have been married 30 years, and like this
That's
room
dope.
here, when the kids started, leaving the house,
Yeah.
and we had extra room, I started making this the office. And when I started the YouTube channel, when I was coming out of being sick and everything, she was like, "Oh, what about it's the first day?" The first day, she walked
Oh
in through this
shit.
doorway and goes, "Oh, what about get get out, get out."
Listen,
I said, "You can
it,
decorate the whole fucking house. I'm
man,
decorating this shit, okay? Mine."
we don't require much. We don't
No.
listen. It's real simple. It's for me. It's give me the garage, the basement,
Yep.
everything outside because I love working outdoors, love working in the yard, and just give me those spots. And if there's a room inside, outside the basement,
Yeah.
depending on how that's constructed, if there's an additional room for give me that as well. But I won't be picky. But it's give me
Yeah.
those three: outdoors, the basement, and the garage. You won't hear a word out of me. You need to go buy
Uh-uh.
something here. Get out my face. Goodbye. Go. Leave me the fuck. you know. And well, I want to paint this. I don't care. Just stay
Yep.
out of the garage, the basement, and leave. I
That's
I
it,
I
bro.
cut the grass. I plant the flowers. Don't. I'm gonna have the sexiest yard on the block. Don't step on my grass. Yeah, I'm that guy. Don't step on my grass. I don't care if it's
Oh
your
shit.
friend. Oh, I don't mess around. Listen, you got to have some nice looking grass on. You got to. It's required. It's
It
requirement.
is it is nice to
It's
have a nice
requirement.
yard. It is.
Got to. Got to have those
Yeah.
bragging rights.
I'm going to tell
So
you right now. You know what's funny? I grew up in the Northeast. We're kind of like, same environment as
yeah,
you grew up
yeah,
as far as Michigan, Ohio. Uh, People up there keep their yard. There's a lot more people in Ohio that keep their yards nice, and the grass is different up there
yeah.
than it
It
is in
is.
South Carolina. Down here in South Carolina, people don't give a fuck about their yards. They don't take
They
care
don't.
of it. They don't edge. They don't fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
So,
It's nothing.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't do that much for our yard,
Okay.
but I like a nice looking yard. Okay,
Sure.
our house, like our yard, looks immaculate compared to everyone because the standard is so low. It's like nobody has a good grass, no good yards, nothing. I put
Right.
that
Right.
fucking Scott's weed and feed and shit,
Yeah.
down or whatever. And we've got almost 1 acre lot here, so the front
Okay.
yard's really, really kind of big, and we do that and we keep it cut. And my wife
Sure.
loves to take care of it as well. So we do all this kind of prep in the front and edging around
Yeah,
the sidewalk and all this kind of shit. And people drive down the street and it's just like it just pops because we're the only ones
yeah,
that
yeah.
do anything with our yard,
Man,
you know?
listen, my new neighbors have no clue whatsoever.
Oh
What?
Jesus.
Oh,
You got to
listen,
teach them the ways, bro.
I plant the flowers, you name it, I do it. I'm the one neighbor that's probably gonna stir up a little rug. Listen, I'm outside with my cargo shorts, the work boots, no shirt, and my bucket hat. Oh yeah, out there having a good time, enjoying myself. And yes, I'm out there like at
Oh,
eight
you're
o'clock in
making
the
all the
morning.
wives look at you? The
Pretty much,
husband's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
jealous.
Listen, wives, sister-in-laws, grandmothers, especially the aunties. Oh yes, and so then I'm up at 8 o'clock in the morning bothering everybody on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh
And
shit.
yes, yeah, so
Nice.
I live with Yarborough. I'm most definitely ready for next year. Next Christmas, yeah. I'm gonna have you a $400 light bill. I'm putting up every fucking light I can.
That is so funny you said that because this is
Yeah.
the first year. This past Christmas was the first year that I actually got into like decorating, right? Like
Okay.
that I cared about it. That I was like, wait a minute, looking around, like, well, we don't. I never noticed it before. All the
Okay.
years before, my kids were younger.
Hmm.
We had five kids real close together, and I was working a lot of hours. And I never really. My wife decorates really good. She's really,
Yeah.
really,
Okay.
she does a ton of shit. So I never really paid attention. So this is the
Yeah.
first year that I actually like thought about, hey, you know what? We need more lights. Hey, we need this, So I'm
Hmm.
already planning for next year. Same thing. I'm like, I want to have
Yeah.
this. I want to have this. I want to have this.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I want
Yep.
this
You
whole
damn right.
front yard lit the fuck up, bro.
Yep, you damn right. I'm most definitely. I'm gonna be Frank from National Lampoon. That is gonna be me.
Oh
Okay, just
shit.
business. I'm not falling off the ladder. I refuse to fall off the ladder. And I'm not doing a live tree. I ain't got no time for no squirrels be running around the house. But
I'm telling you.
so well yeah, so yeah, I'm most definitely that neighbor. I'm most definitely
That's
that
cool.
neighbor.
That's
So
cool.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
what part of
most
Michigan you
definitely.
in?
Right now, I just moved to a city called Redford, which is probably about 5 minutes outside of Detroit.
Oh shit.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah. It's
cousins in Sterling Heights.
okay, yeah, yep, yep. That's probably about 20, 25 minutes, depending on what
Yeah,
part of
probably on the
Sterling
other
Heights,
side.
about
Yeah.
north, yep, north, yep, north
Yeah.
of Detroit. I mean, well, no shit, north of the Metro Detroit area for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Nice area, quiet, very quiet. Oh
Nice.
yeah, my neighbor's gonna hate me next year. But it's quiet. It's peaceful. It kind of gives like the old school vibe with the sidewalks, street lights,
Right.
but in a very, again, peace area where, you
That's
won't have
cool.
any BS, neighbors and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. So
You
I've been
s-
trying to get back here for a few years now.
you you said you played at Motor City? Is that your
Yep,
home
yep,
field?
yep.
Oh
So
shit.
that's literally as far as like the 30-mile, 30, 40-mile radius, let's say 35-mile radius. That's like the only indoor field, to be perfectly honest. There's another
Okay.
one in a city called Grand Rapids, I believe is where it is.
Mm,
I think one just opened up. I kept hearing about it. I never really followed up with it, but yeah, I think that's the only one. So I think these are the only two. So that's where I'm at.
okay.
When I'm on the weekends, excuse me. So I'm typically there all the time when I can be.
Yeah.
Um, Saturday and Sunday if I can, or I might do both sessions in one day. So yeah,
I think
that's about it.
I've heard of Motor City
Yeah.
recently, only because it was after I talked to the guy that started the
Yep.
Skirmish system, and I see when him and I were talking, that's one of the fields that adopted that system or whatever, and they use it. And I had never heard of it before that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
He and I we've had many conversations.
oh,
Like
okay.
I'm fully invested in our skirmish system. I love it. I love the idea behind it. I love the
Yeah.
gameplay tracking. I even right, lately I've been just like I said, been so busy, with the whole house thing and work and
Right.
everything else. I even came up with a particular like team deathmatch game mode. Hopefully, we can get to go to a skirmish, to not skirmish, but a scrimmage,
Yeah.
to a tournament style. Because
Oh, okay.
because my thing is this: we all know what the pretty girl in airsoft is right now. It's speed stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
Yep.
has everybody's attention immediately, but that's not what everybody wants to do. You know,
Right.
not as many people are invested on the speed soft side as what it may appear to be. That's just what's
Right.
advertised the most. So, you know, my thinking was it's like, well, wait a minute. If you take Milsom and you take speed soft, merge it together and figure out, okay, what's a good gameplay? Like, how just do a typical good old fashioned team deathmatch, and then you take skirmish, and then it's like as Motor City is using more what the technology has to offer, you know, using the band to rack up points and stuff like that. You know, it's nothing to do like maybe like a 10, you know, maybe like a 7v7 or 10v10. Be able to scan a skirmish box to rack up more points, maybe like maybe like 4 or 5 minute rounds.
Mm.
There you go. And that'll catch on quicker because whether you play speed soft or whether you play full blown mill somewhere, I guess the in between is mill speed or
Right.
whatever, you can it's easy for people to get together 7 people, 8 people for a squad and run scrimmages and not tournaments all day long. You know,
Yeah.
because that's the immediate counter. Because again, everybody doesn't want to do Milsom. I know the fuck I don't. I'm not doing that shit. No, it's not happening. And
You
then
shut your mouth. You get out there with Airsoft Alphonse. He's a Michiganite. Okay.
yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah. But it's a funny story about that. But then I'm not doing speed soft. Speed soft is cool. I like to watch it because I like to steal a lot of their techniques. So one thing that they're great at is cover. No matter what you do, if you sit there and just really take a step back and look at it, they cover probably the best out of
Hmm.
anybody on anything that they're using for cover. They get the majority of their body behind that particular object.
Right.
Snake, whatever you want to call it, a Dorito, whatever. They know how to get behind that and just get there and just peek that barrel on the gun
Yep.
and then go to work. So that's what I enjoy about watching that. It's like, okay, I'll take a little bit of that, take that from there, and hence that's how you get the gameplay that I have. So I kind of steal from everybody outside of my
Okay.
own personal skills that I have. I mix all that together and there you go. But yeah, with the whole skirmish thing, like I'm it just it's challenging to kind of get everybody on board, especially speed softers. Yeah, I called them out. To just to stick with it because that's what's going to help. You see what I'm saying? Because again,
Right.
they're the trendsetters right now. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
and and
Well, especially with
so
NSL coming over
yeah,
here recently and
yeah,
posting
yeah,
about their
yeah.
tournaments. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so Skirmish and I, we've had some conversations. I sent him a rough draft of an idea for a gameplay. I guess it started circulating around pretty well. One person's like, "Hey, you know, I'm looking for this one guy. His name is Reaper. This that he came up with this. It was his name is Kev. I can't think of his IG right now. But you know, he brought me. I'm like, yeah, that's. He's like, oh shit. And he was like, hey, you know, this idea is great and everything else.
Yeah.
So you know, so I'm thinking a couple more things. The one draft that I did create, I'm gonna probably make some tweaks just to take some stuff away to simplify it a little bit more
Mm.
to get
Gotcha.
as close to a traditional TDM, and then maybe just add in being able to screen a skirmish box
Yeah.
for the for points. Just a couple other things. Add on, you know, a more realistic time frame for gameplay. Go
Yeah.
from there, and hopefully we can get it stick. Because like I said, that would most definitely bring Milsom players inside, and then obviously, you know, all the regulars or whoever else, it'll be easy for people to put together teams.
Right.
Now you have a whole new category that already existed, but it has some more attention that more people would take part in. So to
Mm.
me, it's just common sense. You just gotta get people on board. That's all.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, oh shit. Because most of, a lot of people recently, well, since I talked to Brandon, I've been
Yeah,
asking a lot of people, have you heard of Skirmish? And there's a lot of people that have not, and that I've asked. And,
yeah.
it's not huge out there, but it is, and it's not always well received, I guess. Like they're like, it's not that big of a deal to me. And you know what I found? I wonder if, like what you were saying about the speed soft stuff, like
Mhm.
it's promoted a lot. They
Yeah,
put out the videos, they put out they do a lot of posts and stuff, but
yeah.
there's not that many people that are really interested in playing that style. And I wonder if it's
It's not.
because, are they afraid of the competition? Do you think I was asking somebody recently, like, maybe as far as the whole group of
Hmm.
airsoft, let's say, like,
Hmm.
airsoft, people that like airsoft, uh, the majority maybe don't like the real. hard competition. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe they just,
I don't.
like I was saying, the guys that go to these NASCAR races, they're just there for the,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
community part. I don't know.
yeah. I think it's a lot of different factors of why which one would be the main factor is going to vary. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe it is a hard competition. Maybe it's just that's just not somebody's style of play. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
lot
that's
you
true.
can assume
Yeah.
to why people aren't going that direction. But is it possibly the most exciting? I would think so because it's like putting videos together of gameplay
Yeah.
on social media, right? Whether it's YouTube, whatever else. I know for me, anything like over 2 minutes, I'm skipping and going to the next video. I kid you not. 'Cause I even asked about like, hey, what do you think would be too long for a video, right? And I think the sweet spot is a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it has to be some good attention holding action for me to watch. Anything like 3 minutes or longer for even I don't
Uh-huh.
care, airsoft, whatever, for me to sit there and watch it. So Speedsoft has that instant, fast paced speed that's like, damn, look at that, that looks fun.
Right.
But Milsom, it's only certain people that I can watch. Well, I might even skip through their videos because it's like
Uh-huh.
it's kind of slow paced. You get just one part where they're throwing the edit where they're kind of standing there for like 30 seconds. Like, fuck, you gonna move or you just go? So,
Exactly.
I think again, I feel rather the Speedy Boys bring the necessary attention.
Yeah.
And then I feel Milsom is truly the foundation of it all, right?
Mm.
Because of what we do from call it what it is. Call of Duty, Battlefield, shit. We can go back as far as GoldenEye. You have
Oh
that there,
shit.
and then right, exactly, and then let's even take this stuff up. Think about going to play a laser tag. So you have all that mixed in. So you can that's a part of that foundation. Now you got to find an in between that's literally going to be that does all the hard work, and I guess you
Yeah.
can call that now mill speed. You see what I'm saying? And so
Right.
again, if you ask me, that should be the main emphasis. Now it's like, okay, let Speed Talk is going to do his thing, regardless of what it's going to do his thing. That's what it is. And again, you got people from all around the world that do this, and then with the competition, Scrummers are hopped in, all this stuff is tying in. Now, give some love to the again. We go with the mill speed players, and then it's like that's gonna I feel it take off, and you get the extra bodies, that extra foot traffic,
Mm.
and I think like that right there is gonna take it to a whole new level. It's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take some patience. It's gonna be the right scenario. It'll probably just take off, and then it's like, oh
Right.
shit, here we go, and just be ready.
Exactly.
Just be ready. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, I need one of those cups too. Just I want one of those cups. I saw what
What's
you
that?
did there.
Oh, this thing?
Like
My
yeah,
coffee
yeah, I need
mug?
one of those. Yeah, I will send you the address. I need. Oh yeah, I need that cup. Yep, I need that
I
cup.
think I have it on
No
our
slip.
site. I can't remember. I think it is still on there.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, they're well, you know what I like about these? The original ones we made, or one of those ship on demand or whatever they call that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Teespring or whatever, those type of things.
Yep.
The original one, they were really, really small coffee mugs.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
need some fucking coffee, okay? I don't need no fucking. I don't have an espresso machine, all right? So I need some caffeine. I need like a full, and I think this is like 15 ounces or something like that.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So it's huge. So like on a Keurig, the full like the max setting, if you push,
Okay.
the fullest cup or the largest cup setting, it'll fill it up with like an inch from the top. So
Okay. Gotcha.
it's
Gotcha.
perfect for me. Uh, for the mornings or whatever. But yeah, I really like this style compared to the old ones we used to have.
Right.
But yeah,
Right. Right.
hell yeah,
Fair
man.
enough.
Yeah,
Fair
dude.
enough.
Yeah, you got some awesome pictures on your Instagram too. That
Appreciate it.
yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
I just going back to that. As I have your Instagram pulled up by the way. So
Okay.
I'm just like dumbfounded that people would not like understand that you're a black dude. Like I don't understand.
It happened more
It's
than
fucking
once.
crazy,
Trust
bro.
me.
But there's
More
this
than
one
once.
picture of your bike. It's way down on your Instagram.
Okay.
You had it. I'm guessing you had it edited because I think you
Is it a
said
proper 7-Eleven?
I'm gonna share the screen with you because
Okay.
it's fucking awesome. It's like at night, I think.
At night.
Where the fuck
I'm
did it
trying to
go?
think.
No, no, not the one in front of the 7-Eleven. That one's good too. Um,
Okay. Trying to think at night. Shit.
oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me share the screen real quick.
All right.
You might have to click on something for you to see it.
Oh no, look like it's popping up on the cell phone on his own already.
Did it? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
You see
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Dude, that thing is awesome.
So the person that did that edit, I think I have him tagged in that picture.
I
I
think
don't
so.
remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
He does he mainly does cars. So if you go on his
cartoon cars.
page,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. He mainly does cars, and I randomly came across his, you all know how the algorithm works, and mainly came across his page. I'm like, oh shit! I started thinking like, and so I enjoy, I like steampunk style art,
Oh,
so with the
nice.
mechanical, yeah, yeah. So with the mechanical stuff and everything else.
Right.
So I was like, hey, I like steampunk, I like graffiti, mix it all together. Let me know what you come up with, and I'll just pay you.
Oh,
He
that's
came
what
up
you
with
told
that
them.
edit. Yep, that's
No
exactly what I told him. I
shit.
said, I said, I need graffiti, I need steampunk. Do the best you can, and we'll go from there. He sent me that edit. I'm like, oh yeah, that one right there, and then look back, and that's what you
Oh,
see
that's
there. So yeah, and then
wow.
I remember I had that picture for like a week and a half.
Okay.
I did not realize that if you look, there's a reflection of the bike on the ground off of the
Yeah.
wet pavement. I did not realize that, and then I started paying close attention to little things, search spots where the graffiti was on the walls and everything else. I'm like, hey, he's good. So
So
yeah.
what was the original picture? Do you have that on your Instagram?
The original picture was actually it should have been in front of that 7-Eleven. I think that's the same picture.
No way.
Uh, yeah, 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 yep,
Oh
yep.
my god, let's look at that.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that is it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is. It's the same, but
Yep,
yeah, the same.
yep,
So he took that picture and did all this background and the
yep,
reflection.
yep. Sure the fuck did.
Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. If you go to his page, like he's got some dope edits of car, like the edits for the cars are just insane. So
That is
so
wild,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. So
Yeah, see,
that
and then some of your where's some of these cartoonized, or I don't know what you call them. Yeah, look, like this,
yeah, yeah.
whatever that.
Yep.
Oh, it's a video. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, so,
What's your
so here's the
gameplay?
thing. So, yeah. So here's the thing. So when you go and create a reel
Yeah.
on IG, when you go to finalize and put your caption, all that other crap, you
Yeah.
can actually put a cover photo on there.
Oh.
So that's the cover photo for the reel. So that's what you see as you
Oh,
said you
okay.
scrolling through it. So I try to use different points. And sometimes it's actual me standing in a spot of gameplay. Like, okay, that's a dope angle. Then I go and just, go edit through a couple of different apps and then go from there. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Was that
So
you? You
that's actually
just
yeah.
run and slide?
Yep, yep, yeah, that was me. Knees
Bro,
hurt and everything.
I was gonna say, man, no wonder your knees are fucking aching, bro.
Man, listen,
Damn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You're all up in that shit.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
cool. Okay.
yes, yeah. So literally, it's literally not just a picture. Most of that is literally a actual video.
Right,
Actually, I'm
right.
pretty
Oh
sure like
yeah, that's a video.
97% of what you think is a picture is an actual video. Almost
Okay.
positive.
Okay.
Almost positive. So
Yeah, I guess, I don't really pay attention. I don't do a whole lot of reels on Instagram, so
got you.
I don't even know. I'd have to look back and see if I put a cover thing on mine. I don't even know. I probably
Yeah,
just fucking I'm not that good at it, man, to be honest.
oh no, no, I get it because at first my first few didn't have the cover like my cover photo of choice,
Yeah.
and then I just randomly caught like, oh crap! I'm like, all right, cool. I just created different ones and slap them on there and go from there. Like the one you see in the center, that's when I was on SS Airsoft, and that's when my gun blew up on me.
Right here?
So yeah, yeah, yep, that one right there. No, actually, not that one. The one before. The one before.
Right
I'm
here?
sorry. I'm
Oh, up
sorry.
here.
It's the one with the gloves, look like the tropical gloves.
Yeah. Your
Nope.
gun blew up. What'd you do?
No. Oh,
Whoa!
so
Are your
what?
gloves lighting up?
No. So okay. So this particular one. This is a different video. So what I did was, so TikTok has this editing feature. It's like a motion feature where so when you move a certain way,
Yeah.
it does like this glow thing. And so whether it's
Ooh.
me or somebody else, and so like on my TikTok page, I literally that's all the hell I do. I use that one like on every video. I just like
Oh,
how
that's
how it
cool,
looks when
bro.
they catches my hand, my whole entire body, somebody else, or whatever the case may be. Like I just been kind of sticking with it. I just because it's at random points. It's not all the time. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's cool as shit, though. Oh, this is the video you're talking
Yep.
about. Yeah.
Yep. That's the video.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the one my personal SS, and then it'll like go like the slow mo, like right just the magazine in slow mo in that puff, that little mushroom cloud, and the gun blew up internally. The MOSFET blew, up. And I was pissed off. I was so upset. So yeah, I was so mad, man. That was
So what
such a
happened
waste
with
of
the
a trip.
MOSFET? Why did it mess up?
Don't I couldn't tell you
Yeah, I see
why.
the smoke. Holy
Yeah, I
shit.
couldn't tell you why or how. I just remember the sequence of what happened.
Yeah.
Sitting there playing, the gun goes to full auto on its own. I'm like, what the shit? And then I
Oh
put it
shit.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I adjust the selector from like, and it was in, just single shot. So
Right.
I adjusted, and then I put it back on single shot, and then this clip you see there. I adjust the mag, and then poof, blew up on
Poof.
me, and I don't know what caused it. Don't I couldn't tell you.
You're
And that
like
and at that time,
shit.
yeah, and at that time it was a bone stock gun. So internally I didn't do anything to the gun. But then
Gotcha.
I made some just one or two changes internally to the gun now. So yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
So
of that, what did you what have you done? What's your best gun, and what kind of stuff upgrades and stuff have you done?
oh man. So the gun I'm
Tell the
known
people,
for,
tell the
yeah.
new 16-year-old that's getting into airsoft how much he's going to spend on a
Man, listen. All right, so this is how I'm breaking it down. I'm gonna start this. I will never, and I put emphasis on, I will never run HPA. You can't pay me to do it. I'm
what?
not gonna do it.
Blasphemy, bro.
I know, right? And for me, I feel it gets in way of my style of gameplay.
Gotcha.
Um, so I don't want the core. I don't want. It's not about the weight of the tank. It's about the legit size of it. It's just having the extra hump in the back for how I move around the field. You see what I'm saying? So if you
Hmm.
go back and look at a lot of my videos, especially as if you look, basically, I changed my style of play adjusting to the speed softers, right? So yeah, I was way more tactical in the aspect of taking my time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a traditional style Milsim, but still trying to incorporate like an urban speed soft style. The
Yeah.
problem I kept running into was the speed softs were just flying through there. And
Yeah.
then they will always catch me slipping, staying in one spot. So I'm saying, okay, this isn't working. So what I did was, instead of being in spot maybe 10, 15 seconds, I literally sometimes count myself 5 to 7 seconds and I up and move and go. Because it's that those few extra seconds and messing around, and if you can open play or casual play with speed softness, they will catch you slipping every single time.
Yeah.
And and so with that being, and kneeling down, standing up, sometimes sliding, whew, how that takes a toll on the body, and everything else, it's actually kind of, that tape for me would get in my way along with the cord. Because there's been times waiting in spawn, the cord with somebody's cord was snagged on my butt side or
Oh
whatever.
shit.
So yeah, so it's like I'm not, I'm like, yeah, so that's I don't care. I understand the convenience of HBA, the consistency of it,
Right.
along with being able to adjust, your FPS on the fly. I get it. It sounds good. It
Hmm.
just doesn't work for me,
Yeah.
to how I choose to play. But so my main gun is an ARP9. I'm
Oh,
known for that
nice.
gun because of I did a rap, just like a rap you do for a car from a place called
Hmm.
Airsoft, place in Europe called Airsoft Skins. and I did a Nintendo style wrap on the gun. It was actually in one of the pictures that you had actually scrolled past. I thought you might have seen it. And I've got some work into that gun. That is the gun where I don't say no to it. If it needs it, it's just yes. It just is what it is.
Oh
So
shit.
I've got a brushless motor by Warhead. I got the Ronin edition. There's a lot of material, a couple other things. So brushless motor. I got
Let's see.
Siege,
I'll pull it up real quick.
no problem. I got a Siege Tech gears in there. The tracer, the Bifrost tracer. At that time when that one, the one that's on there when that one came out, it's with Strike Industries. I got an inner barrel bucking. I got a Max hop up. Um, Fuck, what else is on there? Shit. I done different style batteries, adjusting for the different styles because at first it was SSG or single sector gear. Then I switched it over to what's called DSG.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
dual sector.
yeah, dual sector. That thing, DSG is dope, right?
Yeah.
But
What is
it's
it? So
abusive.
what is the main draw, or what is the main selling point for DSG? Is it the
So,
how fast it
so,
can shoot?
so here's the thing. DSG, what I know is immediately is this. It's the grouping. The
Oh,
grouping is extremely tight
really?
on the BBs, extremely tight. Because I remember the FPS is not high at all whatsoever.
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be a task getting to like 300. But
Gotcha.
what you see is how tight the groupings is on each BB, and it's
Hmm.
dope. It's like it changes. You actually adjust your style of play to that, and so that was dope. But it's just abusive on the internals of the gun. Like I'm talking about abusive as hell. Like when it's working, it works great. When it's
Yeah.
broken, it's broken. I'm probably go through like five pistons, trying to get it to work right. My tech
God
at
damn.
Motor City, his name is Ralph. His IG page is irresponsible customs of all names, and it was his idea. He's like, "This one a DSG and this crazy ass gear set, this gear ratio." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And I remember when we finally got it working with that brushless motor. I don't care what anybody says, and me and Ralph talk about it all the time. At first, it was like every speed softer. Oh, HPA this, HPA that. Then guess
Right.
what? They started going with DSG guns. Wasn't
Really?
nobody inside of that building, and they can't tell me otherwise. And yes, I'm calling them out again. Run a DSG until I run my DSG with a brushless motor.
No
Not a single
shit.
soul in there was running.
They were
Everybody
all
was
just on the
HPA this.
HPA wagon.
And HPA bandwagon because I don't like
Oh,
standing out. I like standing out. I like following the crowd. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna follow the crowd.
right.
So yeah, so that's that. And then it's like, believe it or not, I'm actually going back to SSG because it's just the inconsistency of DSG. It's not worth it. You really need to have some backup guns and be able to invest time into getting fixed because now I'm going back to SSG with the new motor I put in there. I'm a stack of gear already.
Holy shit.
So yeah. So the new motor I suck in there is dope. And then even my gear casing is by Mancraft. So when I tell you I've gotten parts from a local shop here, Commandos, love that shop. Everybody works there. I got stuff
Shout
from
out.
there.
What is it now?
It's called Commandos Airsoft.
Hmm.
Yeah, up here in Michigan. So got all the parts from there. But the Metcalf gearbox, I remember when they started really taking off. I ordered them for overseas, but now you can get them from a couple local shops stateside as well. Again, I've dumped some money in that gun. That whatever the gun wants is go get.
No shit. Now what's the
Yeah.
where's the picture you were talking about?
Um,
That
for some reason the screen went out, so I can't see. I can tell you. I think you're trying to share it, but it's not popping up there. So not
oh
too
gotcha.
sure.
All right, hold on.
Yes. So
Let me do it again.
yeah, it's loading. It's trying to do something.
Oh, I
It's,
got you. Okay.
yeah.
Did it come up this time?
No,
No.
it's still trying to load up your screen. Oh,
Oh,
this is petty. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Now I'm confused.
that's all right. Well, you know what I can do is
As a matter of fact, because
you
if
can
you
just
go,
if you
hold
look it
on
up
one
on
second.
yours, you can tell me where it's at.
Yeah, because you got to scroll. Hold on.
Tell me what two pictures it's in between or
Yeah, it's just a picture of the gun itself, and if you go kind of to my earlier pictures, I can tell you where it is. So it is. Did I pass it? I might have passed it. Scrolling that damn fast. Huh.
Is it the
Hmm.
so the 7-Eleven picture with your bike? I'm down to that part.
Act- Okay, so that's your me the picture of my bike with the background, the edited background.
Okay, it's over. It's
If
closer to that.
Yeah, if you go up two rows, it's gonna be the furthest one to the left.
Oh,
And yep. So
oh my
find
God,
that.
this is awesome. Okay, so it's like
Yeah.
so it says here. Let me. I'm gonna share the screen anyway, even if it doesn't come up in yours. That way, people watching can see it.
Okay.
Um, so okay, that looks badass. Yeah, we have an ARP9 as well. My
Okay.
son bought one and he loves it. But
Yeah, so
when
and
I
it's actually gotten a couple changes. The main thing is so the trace on the front is still a Bifrost, which is by Ace Tech, but I went with a red one. So now it's actually
okay,
red instead of black.
okay.
I
Oh, that
don't
would look
and
dope as fuck, bro.
yes,
Okay,
I know it's in one of the gameplays, but you probably I haven't done like a picture
okay,
by itself with that. At least I don't remember I have. So
gotcha.
yeah,
So you got
so
the red sight or optic on
yep,
top. You got
yep,
the foregrip.
yep,
It's red. You got the base plate for the magazine is red.
yep,
You got red accents pretty much everywhere, like
yeah,
the charging handle, the selector switch.
you got it.
Uh, yeah, the bolt catch. All that's
Yep.
red. Now, what is the name of that Nint air gun?
So this is what he had to do because of copyright reasons. The company they can't say Nintendo. So
Oh,
yeah,
right,
because
right, right,
otherwise,
right.
more likely he's facing
For
a
sure.
lawsuit.
Oh, right.
So
The cease and desist
it,
order is going to show up at his
yeah,
door.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so I think the few raps that he has,
Yeah,
um, I think a lot of them won't say what we know what it is. So
got you. Okay.
he has to do his part.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Like a play on
yeah, yeah.
words kind of thing. Yeah,
There you go.
gotcha.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
So
cool.
so so that's my main gun. Then I got a slew of other guns, man. So I got a pretty good artillery going for the most part. So I'm always looking for something new and creative. I'm working a few. I got a few projects coming up. Working on other ones. So I'm just like I said, I got to get through this new level of adulting
Right?
out of the way, so I can get back to that other crap. So get back
Yeah,
to
I
the
hear you.
airsoft stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So what do
So
you
that's
what
the
do you
main.
run for? Do you run pistols at all?
Yeah, so not as much.
Okay.
So with the pistols, I have a high capper. Believe it or not, I have a revolver. I just got it because it was cheap. It was
Oh
like only
shit.
$100. I'm like, oh, I needed this. It was cool. Uh, I just wanted it, and that thing, believe it or not, that thing kicks like a mule. I was
What?
surprised. I'm like, holy shit, yeah! It's called a hater. It's a
Oh, the hater. Yeah,
HR.
bro.
Yeah, yeah,
We
and
have
I got
one.
it in
Yeah.
white. I got it in white to match my vector. And I'm like, this thing is pretty cool. And I put like a
Oh,
little
that's
sight on
cool.
there. I put the O light on there. Like the O light flashlight costs more than the damn gun. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Well, you know
yeah.
what?
So
When those white ones first came out, the haters. I was talking
uh,
with somebody. It was before I did the podcast.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I was doing a live stream or something, and people were, commenting, or I think it was something like that. Well, anyway, it came up about the because we were showing off the hater. I think we'd
Yeah,
just
yeah.
done a video on it, and I had seen where people took that and their airsoft hater and did made it white or whatever, where the paint job was
Right.
it
Oh,
looked
yes.
like um, Cade Six's gun in Destiny 2.
Okay.
So, I mean, it looked just like it. It was pretty cool.
Yes. So I got a high capper. So I got a high capper, the hater. I'm actually building. a new high cap, a
Oh
custom one. I'm
shit.
building it from scratch, piece by piece. I'm waiting for this particular company, waiting for a particular part from them. I'm not telling the company. I'm not telling what the part is because I don't want them damn the Speedy boys to hop on before I do. So I got that in the works. I'm just taking my time with that.
Hell yeah.
And then I got the APO one. So
Nice.
the APO one that one's that pistol was taking off quick. People are jumping on it.
Oh yeah.
It's a really inexpensive gun, easy to
Right.
easy to mod. It uses Glock mags, a lot of Glock internals,
Right.
and so everybody, Taco uses one as well. Actually, I think all of GGC has one of those, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you
So
met up with those guys? You went to SS? Have
yep,
you? Okay. Okay.
yep. Most definitely. The first time we linked up was at the Call of Duty event. So that's the first
Bro,
time we linked up.
you
Yeah,
were at the Call of Duty event.
yeah, I will. Kid you not.
Fuck. How did I miss you, man?
I don't
Oh
know,
my
man.
god. Well, I got were you I got there so I missed those guys too cuz they were there on
Got
Friday
you.
night. I couldn't get down there Friday night. I was there Saturday.
As a matter of fact, that's when my gun blew up. That's when my M4 blew up. Was at the Call of Duty event.
No way. What?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
shit. You're over here trying to
Yeah.
shoot at Alex Zedra or Jammer Actual or somebody and
And listen,
fucking
I
blew
was
up.
ready to give, I was ready to give anybody that work. I didn't give a shit who it was.
That is wild. Yeah, me and my two of my sons that are on the channel and my
Okay.
wife, and then one of my sons brought his wife and her kids.
Okay.
We made it like a huge trip. We went down. There's only 2 hours from us. SS.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I flew down there. It was an hour and a half
Oh
trip.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I wasn't doing a 10 hour drive, 12 hour drive.
Fuck that,
Not
bro.
happening.
Uh. Yeah,
Not
that was a
happening.
cool
So
event, man. Okay.
yeah,
Damn, I can't believe
yeah,
it. Well, we'll have to link up at some point because
for sure.
yeah, if you travel around like that, sometimes we're
Yeah.
always talking with because I met so I missed them at the Call of Duty event, but I did
Okay.
see them. I met up with them at Iron Dagger 2 with Real Sim, via
Yeah.
GTI. So I got
Yep.
to meet them and then get some pictures with them and shit. So yeah, the problem is I took all these pictures at this. Listen, bro, this is how bad I am. I go to the Milsim as a press pass, and then I don't post the pictures.
How don't you post a
I,
picture?
forg I came back and I started doing these podcasts, like releasing them, 5 days a week instead of three. And
Yeah.
so I just got busy. I was like, fuck.
Oh
So I put
man.
them. So what I did, I took all those pictures and I put them in a Google Drive folder. And I
Okay.
told Mr. OT. He asked me. He's like, "Do you want me to put those on the?" I think it's the Third Coast Airsoft Facebook page or something. They have sections for their events. I was like,
Okay.
"Yeah, can you? That'd be awesome. Can you put those up for me?"
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they might be on there, but anyway, yeah, I'm not. I go as press pass, but I'm really just there talking. I'm better at talking with people than I am at posting pictures of shit. Okay,
Right.
so
No, I get it.
yeah,
I get it. I
but yeah,
get
I
it.
did
It's
meet
not
them
wrong with
there.
that.
I met like 8 people that I've had on the podcast. Met them at Iron Dagger. Yeah,
That's what's up. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. So it's I started doing the traveling thing because something different. Um,
gotcha.
yeah, I'll be honest, it wasn't really based on the whole aspect of meeting people. It was just like, hey, I want to go to a new
Yeah,
field and experience a new layout. You see what I'm saying?
right,
It's like, and don't get
right.
me wrong, our local field here, it's a dope. Like sometimes you like, man, it's kind of messed up. You're trying to downplay it, but the field is actually dope. But it's gonna be dope for more so your style of play. Like
Yeah.
it's actually it's even certain areas of the field like nowhere is not it's not always like you're closed off and you're always hidden. There's always an opening, like you think you're behind a wall, but then there's a window, a window
Oh
opening
shit.
right there. And
Yeah,
then there's
yeah.
a doorway right there. It's never like you're fully secluded away where you can just sneak and shoot, just camp out in the corner. Like it's not like that. So there's actually a challenge to it. And then don't learn the field. Like I know that's like the back of my hand. Like, it just adds to it and it makes it a lot easier. Just because I'm like, I want a challenge. So I'm like, let's go to a different
Hmm.
field. And I seen like I said, seen SS Airsoft. My one homie out on the East Coast, ODB, that he works at Full Auto Airsoft, and they have a shop and they opened up a new field recently. And their field looks dope.
Yeah.
It's a couple fields that I gotta get to. A couple in Ohio. That It's a lot of people in Michigan that go down to Ohio. They go to Odin's. There's one field called Odin's, and then there's another one I forgot as well
Okay.
that that I want to just venture to just because
Is
just
it
somewhere.
MK? MK or something?
I think it's MK. Don't quote me
Okay.
on that one, but I know it's another one because because when I
Okay.
come across them, I try to save them. And I got like this whole little tab that is like travel to. Every time I go one, I just knock one off. Like, okay, what's next on the list, and then go from there.
Nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna try to
cool.
get about. I think I'm gonna try to do three this year total. As far as indoor fields are concerned, I know we're in a group chat right now. Me, GGC, Ruby, his crazy ass,
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's a
yeah.
few Airsoft dad. Uh, um, who else? OT. I call him Mr. Mustache. It's a few of us
Right.
yeah, yeah. So he has that magnificent mustache. You can't pass
Mm-hmm.
that up. So we're going to the uh, the Newtown map out in
Oh.
out in Illinois at the end of May.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the plan. That's like a 5 hour drive from here.
Oh, that
So
ain't bad. Yeah.
yeah, not bad. I'll knock it out, no problem. So but yeah, so that's the fun of it. I like the challenge. Like I said, it probably like fourth or fifth on the list is to meet new people. Great, but is
Yeah.
more so
Try
the
out the
challenge.
field and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I most definitely bring the outdoor load up this time around, and I'll be ready for that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome,
most
man.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, listen, bro,
So
it's been awesome talking with you, man. I'm really excide for your this year for you.
I
You got
appreciate it, man. You as
obviously
well.
a lot of changes, and with your new
Yeah,
house and your
yeah, man.
uh,
Tell
get
me
your
about it, though.
yard perfect and
Listen, I'll be honest. It's like, oh, people like, it's like great to buy a house. No, no,
nah,
no,
no,
fuck it.
it's a
No,
pain in the
it sounds
ass,
great,
bro,
period. I don't care about, oh, it's great on taxes and future investment. No, it's
bro.
like I haven't even slept in here not one night. I'm doing so much. I'm like, oh, come
Oh
on. Like I said,
shit.
I was just at Home Depot designing a kitchen because, like I said, there's no kitchen, nothing, not a
Oh
cabinet, no
shit.
stove, no refrigerator, just
Right.
yeah. So it's all good. But yeah, most days looking for the season. I already know you go rack up way more interviews. Your name's floating around way more, so you
Oh
about to
yeah.
be a very, very busy man for sure.
Oh, I'm very yes. I have some goals I just refreshed at the
There you
start of
go.
the new year,
Okay,
and
that's what's
I
up.
actually put them on my calendar um, on the month. So when I pull up my calendar, it's a monthly view. On the Google
Okay,
Calendar thing, whatever, and I put it on like the second week. My goal, I put
okay.
on the second week to show. So I see it every time I open when I open my calendar all the time because I'm always scheduling or typing new ones in, like the podcast release dates or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. That's
And
dope.
so I always see my new goals, and yeah, so I'm definitely uh, wanting to pump them out. It's not, it's more about for me doing this is more about
Yeah,
how many different people I can talk with to kind of
yeah,
connect through this family tree of whatever airsofters that's going on. So
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. Most definitely, most definitely.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. So yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
have some goals with that, and yeah, so I'll be cranking them out. So I got a
Hey,
bit busy week. Well, the
hey,
one
never.
when we were scheduling today, or when I
Uh,
messaged you, that I wasn't editing anything. It was the way Zoom works. When you're
okay.
recording on Zoom, as soon as you end it, it automatically, you can change this in the settings, but it automatically goes in there and like renders the video, like preps it, and
Yeah.
saves it as an MP4 for you. And so I had just finished another podcast right before I got on with you, and it was taking a while because my computer's a little slow to
Yeah.
save, and I'm like, "Fuck, this ain't gonna be done by the time we're about to get on." But we weren't too late.
Oh,
But yeah,
listen, I thought it was gonna be the lady. I'm like, shit, I'm about to fit a whole stereotype right now. Like, you're right behind. I was like, no, no.
no, no,
I,
oh, you're
man, I
good,
wasn't
man.
tripping. I'm like, man, take your time. It's no rush at all. Like, I'm just over here chilling. So,
Yeah, man. Oh, it's
but
been
yeah,
great,
so
dude. I appreciate you. Where can everybody find you online?
man, still just Instagram, Aryan Reaper, unique spelling. So R1 then. R again, then 34P3R, then same thing for TikTok. But mainly Instagram 24/7 all the time.
Yep.
That's hey, that's where the reels are. So you check out that old man slide.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So check out the old man slide, and you might see the hashtag CQB King. That's a funny story behind that. And
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got one of the homies. His name is Rec. He's part of the local speedsofter team. He said he's after the crown. This is gonna be interesting to see who he
Oh
can snatch
shit.
it from.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
Awesome,
It's good
man.
good times. Good times. It's always good times.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, it's great to talk with you. Hey, listen,
What's up?
before this comes out, this will come out at the end of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, this coming week. Send me a picture that you want for the
Okay.
thumbnail, and then any tags you want me to put in. So anyone that you want to, shout out, or anyone you talked about, like your field, or someone else you were
Gotcha.
talking about
All right. Cool.
earlier. Yeah, you can send me those, and I'll put all that stuff in the description.
All right. Yeah, that's no problem. I can most definitely do that for you. And yeah. Again, appreciate you reaching out in the beginning because, like I said, this has been in work for some months now. So I just been
It
busy as
has, man.
shit.
No, I'm really glad we got to hook up, man. It was really fun talking with you.
Oh yeah, but likewise, homie, likewise.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
All right, you too, young fella. Take it easy.